What's the worst thing someone has ever done to you? One time, I went to a concert with a female friend that I had a massive crush on. At the end of the concert, she ditched me to hook up with some dude she met at the show. The thing is, we were sharing a hotel room because we were out of town, and that's where they went to fool around. So I walked around the city of Baltimore in the pouring rain at 2 o'clock in the morning while she's fucking a rando bro in our hotel room. Here's the real kicker. It was my birthday. The girl I had a crush on when I was 8 only pretended to be my friend because she wanted to get embarrassing secrets out of me. She then spread them around and became one of the popular girls, and I was horrendously bullied for years to come. Worst thing is we had after-school English in middle school together again, and she was like, "Hey, why do you not talk to me?" etc. The bitch made a solid quarter of my life hell and just forgot about it. I'm scarred for life and she will never remember it, let alone feel bad about it. My ex-wife made me believe I was making up all the proof that she was having an affair for a couple years. I went through therapy and anger management, accepted that I was just a fucked up person, and should have never disrespected my loving wife by accusing her of such things. She pushed all the help on me, praised me, etc. 2 weeks after we divorced, she cheated on the guy she was dating, another affair dude, with me and admitted to everything. I kicked her out my house immediately. Was early high school. Joking around with my father, horrid temper, switch flipped with him. He chased me down the hallway, thought we even playing till he pinned me down, hand around my throat strangling me till I passed out. Burst blood vessels in my eyes. Had to wear sunglasses for a good week to hide them while at work or elsewhere. Well, my ex dropped the fact she was late and might be pregnant, and then admitted it was either for me or her 2-year-old's father. After sitting down and really thinking about it, it turns out I was the other guy, not vice versa. Long story short, she wasn't pregnant, and I noped the fuck out of there. My stepdad stole 2 houses, 2 cars, a scooter, and a boat from us when my mother died. He then proceeded to commit perjury and tell the judge that he was broke because he paid me and my sister $60,000 each. This got him out of a loan that he had from my aunt, who loaned my mother hundreds of thousands of euros so she could buy a house. Basically, he did so much acrobatics that I didn't even get my own bed or clothes back, and he ended up with everything that could remotely be stamped as my mother's property. Overall, the worth of everything he stole, not just from my side of the family, but his ex-wife that he got back to later, is upwards of $500,000. His wife then also dies and he takes whatever's left. My lawyer told me I couldn't do anything since now 2 wives of his died in a 3-year span, and there was no way a judge would look at him and say he owes anyone anything. Honestly, I think he married my mom and then killed her. The same with his then ex but current after-wife who also died rather quickly. Dated a woman for a time and eventually got involved with her teen kids and acted in a step-parent role for years. Invested tons of my time, energy, and resources into them as a family. Then my GF went into a spell of depression and didn't want to do anything or talk about anything. Life went on around her. Then when she saw me spending time with the kids instead of sitting on the couch doing and saying nothing like her, she became pathologically jealous and started accusing me of having too much interest in young girls. I spent a long time trying to fix and salvage the situation, as I felt we were all bonded together as a family. Paid out of pocket for counseling for us and for her exclusively for a long time after the therapist determined the locus of the problem was not me. She never accepted responsibility for her claim and the effects it had. Thought she could just casually dismiss it at will, like she'd claimed I left the toilet seat up one time. Thought I was making a big deal out of everything. She never spent a second addressing the childhood traumas that openly affected her whenever there was a pinch, even invoking them as an excuse for acting how she did, then pretending they were fixed or non-existent. The 99% of the time she did not need to use them to manipulate the situation at hand. Finally had to walk away from the situation. Started dating someone else who was a college debate coach with a PhD in English, night and day communication, and interaction styles. And she acted like I abandoned her. Even cheated when I made good on my promise to leave without effort on her part. Now, a long time later, I still hear from one of the boys who is now in his 30s and just had a baby. At least 2 of my ex's grown children don't even talk to her at this point. I never tried to assemble a family again, but have had a very fulfilling love life since. Freshman year of college, I met a girl and we became best friends. We did everything together. Then one day in class, she told me she didn't want to talk. She wanted to read. That was fine, of course. She did that 2 more days. The 4th day, she moved her seat from next to me to across the room. I tried to get her attention to talk, but she avoided me. Next week, we both happened to be washing our hands in the bathroom together. I said hi. She acted like I never existed. Soon, she left the college. I went to grad school 3 years later, somewhere 2 HRs away, and lo and behold, she was in my class. We were assigned the same group for a project. She looked uncomfortable, and the next time class met, I found that she had dropped it. I never saw her again. Saw her. It hurt me deeply because I had no clue why she did this. We didn't fight. I'm not manipulative or catty or anything. This wasn't the worst thing to happen, but it definitely ranked up there. Where to start? My mother died within 4 hours of going into hospice around 7 p.m. I was notified the next morning she had passed by my brother, who I was not talking to previously. He let me know she went into a coma within a few minutes of arriving in her room. Aunt is notified the night before, though. She arrives about 6 hours later on a red eye, and my mother had passed already. Aunt calls me about 3 months later and asks me, "Your mother was calling for you when she was dying. She kept asking why you weren't there. Why you weren't there for her. How do you feel about that?" My aunt kept pressing me as I sat there in silence, wondering WTF kind of conversation am I having? And what is the truth? I hung up and called my brother asking him the truth and flipped out when I told him what my aunt had said. Seriously, who does this? Burn in hell, bitch. My mother was malignant narcissist. She psychologically abused Ume and beat me down so low that I never lived up to my full potential. I know it's cliché supposed to be wrong to blame your parents after you're grown, and I've worked hard to get farther along in life than most people do, but I know I could have been so much more if she hadn't been the sick person that she was. Today, I'm 72 and still moving forward and upward. I have 2 nice homes, my own business and friends, but in the years it took to heal myself, time was not on my side. I could have had the career I wanted if I had not listened to her when I was young. I could have had a home and family had I not been warped. These are things you have to start young at, and I can't grin back time. I blame myself enough, but I still congratulate myself too. I've managed to bring myself to a place where I'm happy and secure. I have a good life now.